In this video, we're gonna be touring a $100 a night Airbnb, $500 a night Airbnb, and this $1,000 a night Airbnb. And let me tell you, this thing is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna be showing you at the end of the video. But first, let's go to the $100 one. All right, so we're here at the $100 a night Airbnb. Let's check it out. So I like the automated system where they put the last 4 digits of your phone number as the code. Makes it a lot easier. Let's check it out. Okay, so yeah. So this is a lot smaller than I expected, honestly. Again, for $99 a night, I can't complain, but this is practically a hotel room. If we look in the bathroom right over here, it's actually a pretty nice bathroom, but this is just remnants of an exact, I mean, this is just a hotel. This is the kitchen, it looks like. So you got your microwave, you got a fridge, and you've got a coffee machine under the sink with the drain. And then you got a nice Keurig here. So all in all, I will say for $100 a night, it's basically just a hotel room. So if that's much cheaper than hotel rooms here in Palm Springs, then this is probably pretty nice. But otherwise, it looks like it's just a bed, TV. We've got a patio over there. And it's honestly really well kept, really clean. And as an Airbnb investment, if I were to like buy a property like this, I don't even know how they sell these things individually, but this is not bad if it's not too expensive and you're making $100 a night, because there's practically no maintenance, hoping the HOA is not too expensive. But I mean, I can't imagine maintenance being much. Even if you had to redo the walls in here or paint the walls, it wouldn't cost more than a couple $100. So it looks like this isn't that bad of an investment if you were to get this for cheap. And I mean, the furniture wise, you're probably spending maybe $2,000 total on furniture. So yeah, I mean, if I had to spend $100 a night to stay here in Palm Springs and this is all I had, there are a lot of properties out there at around $100, but this isn't that bad because you're in a full complex with a pool, a jacuzzi. I mean, it is a beautiful resort area, but otherwise it's just, this is pretty small. This is not what I expected. So in the meantime, let's go check out the $500 a night Airbnb and compare it to this one. So we're here at the $500 a night Airbnb, and this thing is absolutely amazing. So I didn't actually expect how big this lake was. It looks like other houses have like boats and things like that. I don't necessarily know if we have a boat, but so far I did a quick rundown of the house and it is absolutely beautiful. This is a great example of something that completely beats expectations, and it's really, really nice inside. Let's check it out. So this is a great example of a home that completely exceeded expectations. So based on the photos, it was very beautiful on the photos, but when we got here, all of us were just absolutely starstruck. I mean, this is an amazing home for only $500 a night. The biggest pro to this house is that there were a lot of bedrooms and a lot of beds. So almost each bedroom actually had multiple beds in it, which is a great way for big groups to come. Because worst case, if you've only got 4 people, then you only use 4 beds. But if you've got 8 people or 10 people, then you have pretty much enough room for all of them. And that allows the host to make a lot more money, because if someone says, hey, we just need enough beds for, let's say, 8 people, and there's only 4 beds, well, they might not book this place. But the fact that they just spent a little bit more money on beds allows them to capture a larger audience. But look at this view right out these windows. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, and you'll be seeing tons of footage of this from different angles, because I mean, this is just absolutely amazing. This house is blowing me away. It's super clean. This is a great example of making sure that your Airbnb is clean. There's not too much junk around, right? You want to leave the countertops empty. You want to feel like when someone's coming here that they're not taking over your space, but it's now their space. And when we go outside and we look, I mean, this is an absolute amazing view. You're gonna be swimming right on the lake. They've got everything that you need. They've got a jacuzzi, they've got tanning chairs, they've got a beautiful balcony upstairs with an amazing view. And this is just, again, a perfect example of a well-priced Airbnb with a lot of amenities, beautiful view, and a clean house. So I would rate this 10 out of 10, honestly. This is absolutely amazing. Our entire team was excited and they wanted to actually stay here tonight, but I told them we gotta go back to the next Airbnb, the $1,000 a night Airbnb, but this one's absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to show you guys the $1,000 a night Airbnb, so let's go check it out. Now I love this because they were able to put my last 4 digits of my phone number as the code for everything in the house, is what the notes say, which is a really cool touch because it makes it a lot easier for me to remember how to get in and out, and it's an automated system for the host that has it. All right, so first looking at this driveway is almost, I would say, a 1/4 mile long. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. One of the biggest things when getting an Airbnb is you want to feel like you're in some new location, right? You don't want to always remember that you're not too far, because people who typically Airbnb, on average, are Airbnb really near their home. So the whole idea is getting an escape, and if they don't feel like they're at an escape and they feel like they're just at a normal home, then it's not really adding much value. So with this, I love the fact that this is a really long driveway, because it makes me kind of forget that there's a road that we were just on, and we're kind of going deep into this property. So now as we get to it, it looks like we're pulling up finally into the actual property itself, and this is absolutely amazing. There's a full-on pond here. It looks like there's fish inside of it. I mean, it is around 2.5 acres. This property is absolutely massive. And we're still going down this driveway, and it looks like we're actually gonna be pulling up to the back of the house, and that's where we're parking. As you can see on the side right here, it's just covered in plants and everything. So again, you got all this really good privacy on the left side. All right, so we're pulling up right now to the property, and it has a lot of parking. It looks like it could fit at least 10, 15 cars, which is really good again, because now people feel like they can come here and have a bunch of people and host parties and events and things like that because there's enough parking. So this property is around 5 acres. And as you can see right over here, it's got a huge pond, which is absolutely amazing because honestly, it adds a really, really cool natural feel. We're here in the middle of the desert, right here in Palm Springs, Coachella area. And typically you kind of get the vibe of deserty feel, but with this property, we genuinely feel like we're on a resort, honestly, in like Hawaii, right? You got a lot of grass, a lot of palm trees, and you kind of forget that you're in the middle of the desert, which is a really cool feel. Now, one of the unique parts about this property is that it's really close to Coachella, those event centers. So during that time, they actually rent this property out to different brands and companies. And that's kind of a cool aspect when you're looking to build an Airbnb here in Palm Springs or Coachella area, is that there's a lot of events, and potentially if your property has certain things and certain aspects to it, companies might rent it out for events like that. So this is the front of the home actually. And as you can see, it's got a really cool architecture. It's really simple. There's nothing overly done about it. And that's what's really cool, because when you look at it, it's not like someone spent a ton of money building some really high-end home. They just took this home and made it really, really simple and beautiful. And that perfectly fits with the style here in Coachella area, because you don't want something that's overdone. I mean, I absolutely love this. Now, one of the coolest aspects to this property is the fact that they have 2 of these casitas. Basically, it's just 2 bedrooms side by side, but it's detached from the main house. So we have a couple people staying here, and I'm able to put my videographer and my producer in each of these rooms, and it kind of feels like they have their own hotel room. And I think this is so cool because I was able to kind of feel like I'm not just at a home, but I'm actually at a resort. So we're here in the backyard now, and as you can see, it's got a beautiful pool, barbecue area, a gazebo, and tons of outdoor seating, especially some really long ones for benches. And that's really cool because if you have a big party or a big group of people, you can utilize all these seating areas. And on the other side of the property, they actually have a tennis court. Now, the net's not up right now, but it looks like a lot of companies probably use that for different types of events. But again, this property is absolutely massive. And when we think about $1,000 a night, there are other homes that we were looking at for this price. And not only were the property sizes not this large, and it makes us again feel like there's no neighbors, we can blast music, we feel like we're actually alone and we're at our own resort, but for $1,000 a night to have a jacuzzi, a pool, a barbecue, these are the types of amenities that make sense to be competitive in this market. Now, on top of those things, which is very, very important, you want to make sure that your house actually holds up to the quality that the photos show. And that is a huge issue that I see with Airbnbs all the time, where I'll notice that we go to a property because the photos look so good, but then when they get there, it just doesn't hold up. And this property actually does a lot better than the photos do justice, which means potentially if they wanted to get better, they could potentially take better photos. And that's about as best as they can do, because they are pretty much maximizing everything they can do with this property. Price is great, the property is great, everything about it is amazing. And when we got here, our expectations were fully met. So now that we're inside, you can actually see it's got this really, really cool bar. And these are just like minor things. I mean, you can see it's just a piece of wood and a fabric or wallpaper in between, with probably like $100 light. But these small differences make a world of a difference for me, the renter coming in here, because it feels a lot cooler, really cool for photos, videos if you're trying to do that. But also when I'm here, again, I feel like I'm in a resort. I mean, this is an absolute small touch that makes a world of a difference. We've got a pool table over here, which is also really, really cool. Again, when you're booking Airbnbs, a lot of people look for things like pool tables, pools, jacuzzis, ping pong tables, anything like that makes a world of a difference again, because someone's gonna see that and go, if I have the choice between this one and another one, and this one has everything the same but a pool table difference, I'm going to be picking the pool table difference. So now let's go check out the kitchen. So here's a perfect example here in the kitchen. They've got a drink fridge and they've actually filled it with drinks. Now, this is a minor difference from another Airbnb, but when I see that when I'm going to rent, again, I'm going to pick this one. And remember, this thing only costs what? $50 per stay if you wanted to fill it up and if the guests actually drink every single drink. So if you're making $2,000 or $3,000 on that stay, a $50 difference doesn't really make much of a difference for you, but it does make a difference for the experience of the renter. So overall, you want to be making sure that your appliances are clean or high-end like these ones here, because that can add, again, a lot of value when people are looking at photos, or if someone says, hey, I want to go there and cook something really nice while we're there, and they're going to be looking at one house that has really bad kitchen amenities and appliances versus this house, again, they're going to be picking this house. Now, this brings me to a really interesting point. Initially, we had a different $1,000 a night house booked for this video, but when we got there, there was an issue with the cleaners. They didn't actually clean the house. And I do feel bad for the host. He was really nice about trying to solve the issue, but we really had to get going because we wanted to film. So we told them that we were just gonna stay at a different Airbnb. But I'm really glad we did, because I wanna showcase the differences between this one and that one. Now, that one is a little bit dirty and it wasn't the host's fault, but when we just look around at the different amenities, even if it was clean, comparing them is just a night and day difference, even though they're roughly the exact same price. Now, at the other place, they had a full vending machine in the house trying to profit off of the people staying there, which is probably not the best thing, because it's going to make people feel like this is not a hotel, this is not a resort, this is something where they're trying to squeeze out every dollar that they can. And I get it, as a host, you're trying to make as much money as possible, but I think if you give a little bit, you'll get a lot in return. So again, a great example is just making sure that your appliances are up to date. It's not a broken fridge, it's not an old fridge. These minor differences, again, you're trying to capture as many customers as possible. This is not a regular rental business. So this is a great example as how something so small can make a world of a difference. And that brings us to the end of this video. Now, I'm gonna be doing this same type of tour and different tier systems in different cities. So if you have a different city that you want me to go check out, comment down below. I think the next one we're gonna be doing is Big Bear. And then after that, I might be doing San Francisco, Los Angeles. I mean, there's just so many different places. So if you have a place that you wanna see the different price points, let us know down in the comments below. So go ahead and stay tuned, and I can't wait to show you our next video.